And
We
we're
are live.
live. Yay. Welcome to our Game of Thrones House of the Dragon after show for episode 6, which is called The Princess and the Queen, which makes complete sense because it featured a lot of the adult princess and the queen. I'm Melissa. This is Andres. This is Taylor Tortilla, aka Adriana. This was a long episode, so I'm going to try to speed my way through this recap. I may skip some lines, so if you guys want to call out some scenes later on, you can do that. So we open up with Rhaenyra is giving birth, and oh my god, it's a boy. Alicent summons them right after giving birth. Like literally, this girl is still bleeding. She has not been stitched up properly. This Alicent queen has no mercy. Um, she is having an afterbirth reaction. I was like, oh my god, I've never given birth. What does this mean? Oh, we have a comment already. Hi, Chris Dang. He's like, yay, the whole gang is back. Hi, everyone.
Great to be with you, Chris.
Yes. Think about your MVP, Chris, and also your rating as I speed my way through this recap. Alicent fakes concern for Rhaenys.
Wait, I couldn't unmute myself fast enough. Chris Dang is a lady. That is all. Goodbye.
I know. Hi, Chris. Sorry. Alicent knows something that we don't at this point. She believes Rhaenys is not the father. And we see that Rhaenyra already has 2 kids. What is a knight doing watching the kids and making Google eyes at the baby? That this is Sir Harwin Strong. And then we're skipping to a scene where it's field trip day to the dragon cave. Aemon is the kid who doesn't have a dragon, and we are learning in this episode that it could take you years to bond with the dragon and have the dragon best friend. Alicent and Viserys have a talk about the illegitimate children. Viserys denies it, but I feel like it's clear that he knows it's probably true, but he's choosing to just not pay attention to it. We see that Criston is still pressed. He calls Rhaenyra the C word. Even Alicent is like, come on now. Let me see. We see Aegon is having his masturbation fun time at the window in open air. And his mom interrupts. She repeats her father's words to her son, saying about how his life is in danger and tells him that someday he will be king, and he doesn't seem to care. He's just like, I just want to fuck off. Daemon, we see him across the sea. We see him flying on his dragon with his wife. She is riding Vagar, and I was very worried because I saw that like the dragon breathed fire and she flew through it. I was like, but that's fire. But then I was like, oh wait, she's fireproof. But then maybe she's not because of the end. But we'll talk about that. Daemon. So then they are staying with this, I guess, family over at Pentos, and the Pentos dude invites them to stay because they have dragons. They're cool and they want to hang. Daemon wants to stay, and Laena does not want to stay. She wants to raise her baby where she was born. We cut to the scene back to King's Landing, and the kids are training. We see Criston and Harwin are having a bit of a disagreement about how the kids should be trained. So then Criston makes the kids fight, and he's kind of like egging on Aegon to kind of like, I guess, beat up Harwin's kid. Harwin punches Criston, easily baiting him. And then Lionel tells Harwin to keep his temper in check and he can't assault a king's guard when they have their secret meeting. We see Laenor is coming back from a drunken trip with his friend, his lover boy. We don't know who he really is. Carl with the Q. Laenor warns Rhaenyra about a war at the Stepstones. The fucking Stepstones are having a war all the time, it seems. Rhaenyra tells him that there are rumors. She wants him to take the lives of their sons more seriously because he can't just fuck off on war while she just gave birth. It doesn't look right. And then we see that Alicent and Rhaenyra are at this council meeting and they're disagreeing about how to deal with the Blackwoods. I didn't really catch that, or like I forgot the details, so y'all can refresh me in the comments. Rhaenyra is playing the Game of Thrones by apologizing to Alicent and proposing a betrothal amongst their kids. And Alicent's just like, I don't know about that. We'll think about it. Lionel wants to quit. The Hand of the King wants to quit his job because he's just like, my son was out of line. I should just take a step back. And Viserys commands him to not quit. And Lionel's like, fine, I will stay. But he asked for Harwin to go back to Harrenhal, essentially firing Harwin. And Alicent still looks displeased at this. Alicent has dinner with her new best friend, Larys. He is super shady. She is just frustrating and she's venting to him at this dinner. We see Larys is making some kind of creepy deal with a bunch of prisoners. And we cut back to Laena is trying to give birth. She's having a really hard time, very reminiscent of Queen Emma in the pilot episode. Daemon looks pretty calm, and then a maester comes to him, tells him that he can try to cut the baby out, but the wife will definitely not live. We don't really see Daemon make a decision, but we cut back to Lena somehow in extreme pain, bleeding out, leaves the room. Nobody sees her, slips out somehow. She goes to her dragon and is saying Dracarys, Dracarys to Vhagar. And it looks like the dragon is hesitating. He doesn't want to do what his mom is, I guess, begging him to do. Which I feel like I want to know more about the dragon lore on this, because like how do they even kill their own like masters? But I guess when they're begging, this is what happens. She says Dracarys again, and essentially we see a suicide by Dragonfire. She said it earlier in the episode. She's a dragon rider, and she wants to go down as a dragon rider does. So she dies. So we cut back to King's Landing, and we see the kids saying bye to their dad. And at this point, I'm thinking, do the kids know that's their father? And then one of the kids asked this question, shocking me. She's like, "Am I a bastard? Is that my daddy?" She's like, "You're a Targaryen, boo. It's all good." Rhaenyra tells Laenor that they need to leave and that he can bring his boo thing. And then towards the end, we see the prisoners that Larys was talking to. They end up killing Harwin somehow, and I think Lionel dies as well. My question was, what do they gain from Harwin dying, because he was already fired and banished to Harrenhal? And then we cut back to King's Landing, where we see more rats. The rats are not leaving this, like no one's cleaning this castle. Alicent looks horrified at Larys's confession, and Larys tells her that he wants a reward. And I'm asking myself, does this mean that he wants to bang, or does he want a position? And that is the end of my recap. So now my question is, how do you guys rate this episode?
Is there like a middle of the road, like a 2.5 dragons? I don't know. I feel like it was bad until it was good.
So you're going 2.5?
Yeah, just like a half middle of the road. Like it was good and it was bad, and I have questions, but I enjoyed it and I have questions.
Okay, I'll take that.
Yeah, I'm somewhere between a 3 and a 3.2, maybe. Like maybe my baseline is 3, like a good solid episode all the way through that doesn't have anything too great or too bad is like 3. So 3, maybe a 3.2, since some interesting things did happen there. But I would say the opposite almost. I would say that it was good until it got bad. I actually agree with you, Melissa, that I had some questions about the end and the value of Harwin's death.
Yeah. I feel like during watching it, I was like, I'm gonna give this a 3.5. But then like it kept going, and then some things were just like not making sense to me, and it went down. And I have to say, I'm like between like a 2.5 and a 3. So I'm gonna say like 2.8. I'll give it a 2.8. And we can go into our reasons why. I feel like I'm being that nitpicky. Oh, Dragons Forever is giving 3.5. All right, I respect that. And
so somewhere between like a 2.5 and a 3.5 for everyone, basically.
Yeah. I feel like I'm being that nitpicky fan, but I don't know. Like there's some things that where I'm left with questions. Like some things just don't make sense to me. Like seriously, when they were riding dragons together, Daemon and his wife, and like she's flying through the fire, and then I remember, oh, Targaryens or Valyrians are fireproof, but like, no, you're not.
That was hella stupid. That scene was when I said, this sucks all of a sudden. It was so weird, and they were like, he was like reaching out in this direction. What? Like, no. Fire. How does fire work?
The fire burns and kills them sometimes. I don't get it.
If it maybe if it's like a timed effect kind of thing, like maybe fire can't kill them, but dragon fire can, because Drogo's fire was regular fire, and where Daenerys killed all those dudes was regular fire. So what if maybe I don't know.
But I think maybe it's only like some of them that fire doesn't kill, because was it Viserys, right? Viserys was the name of Daenerys's. Yeah, Viserys was the name of Daenerys's brother that dies, right?
Oh, right. Well, I mean, molten gold on your face is not the same as like a little.
I agree that that's different, but she says like some line about how he got burned. I forgot. It's been so long.
You got burned.
Yeah, she's like, you got burned, bro.
She said fire cannot kill a dragon.
Yeah. After he dies, so there's like the implication that like.
And
if
I
you're
always
true,
then
you
said it's Morbin time. And,
I always thought that meant like if you're the chosen one, you're not gonna die from fire.
Exactly. Yeah. So I think fire does kill them, except for
Do you mean the
the
prince
really
who was promised?
special.
But do you guys realize what I'm talking about? She's
It's
flying on her
inconsistent.
dragon. Vagar breathes fire. She flies through
It
it.
was dragon fire.
burns.
Yeah, it wasn't even regular fire.
Vagar, Dracarys is on her ass and she dies. How?
Maybe it's like when you put your hand through the fire real quick.
Maybe. That's the only
Okay,
that's the only thing that makes
don't
sense.
Like, to me, that's an inconsistency and it confuses me as a fan. I didn't like
I get that.
It didn't make any sense.
I had mixed feelings on that whole scene in general. Something just felt off to me. I can't even like explain it. When I look back, it's like, okay, it makes sense. She didn't want to die that way. But also,
oh wait, we're talking about the death scene or the dragon riding scene?
Oh, well, I guess they're intertwined considering the plot hole that Melissa kind of pointed out. But yeah, so when she does kill herself, I was like, something just felt a little, and I think Age, you said that too, right? That like
it was just man.
Yeah.
But we mentioned Harwin dying twice in the intro, and I'm dying to talk about that.
Okay, Melissa, you lead. What are we talking about?
Gosh, sorry.
Sailor Tortilla channel.
We were on the rating your episode, and then we go straight to the characters as always. What I was talking about. No, we were talking about. Wait, are we absolutely done with Lena?
Oh well, yeah. Let's stick with Lena.
Let's talk about Lena, which I misspelled.
That's the daughter. Is that the daughter?
Lena is Daemon's wife.
Daemon's now wife.
Okay, so okay.
The one who was fireproof 1 minute, not fireproof the end of the episode.
So,
she was not a character. She just appeared when needed. Hey, we need a wife. I'm a little wife. Don't want you. Hey, I want a wife. I am the little mom.
Yeah,
I know. I was starting to like her a little bit, I guess, this episode. The adult version. I knew something was going to happen with her pregnancy when her daughter had the egg in the fire and she was like, they don't all hatch. I was like, foreshadowing. I felt that, but I didn't know if it was going to come in this episode. I really didn't think it would. Yeah. But then, once that happened, I wasn't surprised that it was happening because I knew that pregnancy wasn't going to turn out well. But something Chris Dang said, I say 3 for this episode. Still had my attention, but a bit slow pace. Yeah, so it's in the same vicinity. Yeah. So I think I didn't want Leda to die either. Dragons Forever. Yeah, for sure. Like I said, I was starting to like her. I think what I didn't like maybe about the suicide was that, like, if you're going to kill yourself anyway, you'd expect like the motherly thing to be like, try to save the baby at least. But I understand it from the perspective of like dying a dragon rider's death. But it seemed like a little, I don't know, something felt a little off.
It's like she killed her own baby.
Yeah, that's the part for me that was like,
But wasn't she like 12 when Emma got cut open?
Yeah.
Do you think that because she was royal, they may have actually told her the truth about what happened? I think that could be the case. Like, she knew what was coming and she was like, no.
Yeah, she was definitely aware of like either through that story or probably countless similar stories of like what was next, and that's why she went and killed herself by fire. But I don't know. I think I'm trying to figure out why that scene felt like a little off, and that's the only thing I can come up with is like, I feel like you're gonna kill yourself anyway. You try to save the child, you'd expect the motherly instinct to kick in, but I get it, like, overall that she died the dragon death.
Died her term.
And
but as I was watching it, I was like,
But her husband also doesn't even listen to her. It's like, I'm doing this for what? For some dude who's like old and doesn't pay attention to me. What life is that?
Old.
What?
Daemon's not that old. That's Viserys.
But remember, he was older and she was like a little girl. Like, imagine like seeing someone grow up like that. No.
Yeah.
How do you respect someone like that? I mean, you can, parents do it to their kids all the time, presumably, but I don't know.
I definitely think that was another part of the scene, was that she was like disinfatuated with Daemon. But you mentioned not liking that scene either. So do you know, like, could you pick out why you didn't really like it?
I just didn't. I I don't know.
All right,
I
that's
didn't
fine.
like the dragon riding scene. I didn't like the dragon suicide scene. It was just, I mean,
I don't-
well, okay. I like the tension that they built by having the dragon not be able to do it, but the CGI was really bad.
Yeah,
And the dragon riding scene for me was like the worst part of the episode.
I actually liked the way the dragon looks. So
No, I like the
I
way
feel
the
like I
dragon
saw
looks.
its
I
I
just
saw
don't
its
care
like
for that.
face. I saw its character a
Yeah.
little bit.
I
Mm.
And they
thought it was
yeah.
cool that like it had like emotions about like I don't want to
Mhm.
do this.
Yeah, I thought that was good too. A nice reminder of like how smart the dragons are.
Yeah, but I just didn't like either of the things because they didn't make sense to me. It just doesn't make sense.
But also, it was kind of like, oh, he married the little girl. Okay.
Well,
I'll
I
accept
told
it.
Yeah,
you last
well,
episode flirting at the wedding, and that's probably going to be his future wife.
I don't know if you guys want to move on to Daemon, but I do want to talk about how I just never really fully predict where Daemon's going with like anything. I mean, they did set up that he was going to marry this younger lady, but I was still kind of like, oh, he really did it. You know? I don't know if
Yeah,
anyone else
no.
felt a little bit like that.
I also never know what to expect from him, but I saw inside the episode and they were talking about how he left Westeros and went across the
Mhm.
sea because he didn't want to be a part of the politics. And that's like it makes sense why he would want to stay in Pentos, where like they worship him anyway because he's this dragon lord and he just wants to like have fun and be married with his kids. So
Yeah. But it's interesting that like he's kind of lost the ambition of it that seemed like to be a big part of the character.
Yeah,
for a
where did
bit.
that go? Did that go with his children? He hasn't said enough to say like, oh, he's fatherly now, or what? I don't know what he's.
Yeah, I think he was enjoying like not being part of the game anymore. But I think maybe now that he doesn't have his wife, he might get back into it.
Like
It
a friend of
is.
the cartel?
and is going. Yes, it is hard to predict him. Maybe they'll do like another time jump in the next episode, and then we'll see him like get back into the fold.
I'm
These
thinking
time
at
jumps are
some
killing
point.
me.
I'm thinking at some point there will be another time jump. I think the children will become
Older,
like
yeah.
older. Yeah.
I already saw somebody gets an eye patch.
I saw that too.
Interesting. Oh, I
Yeah.
didn't see that. I didn't see like next week's episode this time.
No, that was from the last time.
Picture from like the internet where like one of them has like the blonde hair and a patch.
Oh, I didn't
Yeah.
look into the pictures.
One of
Always
them,
down for the anime eye patch characters.
someone's clearly a bad apple. But let's talk about
Or
the
a
person
fan of
who
eye
opened
patches.
up. Who opened up the episode, Rhaenyra. We see adult Rhaenyra. Well, let me hear you guys' thoughts about how you think this actress did with this character.
I don't know who filmed first. I assume that everybody read the script for all ages of the characters to inform their actions. But like, wow, I'm glad this was not the first episode. I like if I saw this as the pilot, I'd be like, why is the brown-haired queen such a bitch to the white-haired queen? Whoa, what's going on here? I don't like seeing women against each other. What?
Well, we have the context. I mean, I feel like it was
No, we do. But I'm
Yeah.
saying if this was the first episode, I would think this is garbage.
garbage because we don't have the information. Like, why does Alicent hate Rhaenyra?
Yeah, they did great with those 5 episodes setting it up, and we loved obviously the actresses that played them. I think it almost felt like a second pilot, so I get why you say that, Age. And it felt like almost new characters. So you had to like kind of remind yourself that like these are the same people. Like the 10 years really kind of changed them in ways, or maybe just the actors are playing them like a little differently, doing their own thing. But yeah, I had to keep reminding myself like this is the Millie Alcott character for some reason.
It changed some people worse than others. I think the transition between the actors, I think they did a really good job with all the actors so far in terms of looks, except for Leonor. That guy does not look like the young guy. That's all.
Oh, yeah, I can agree with that a little bit. I mean, they all have their own like little changes. I liked his character a little bit in this one. I thought he was
I
interesting.
like him a lot, actually. I think he's
Yeah.
the only person who acts normal and you kind of understand what he wants. And, you know, his wife is nice to him. She's like, bring your little boyfriend along. Like, I think their relationship is really cute. I just wish that they would sire some children that look like him by
Exactly.
any means possible.
That's a big thing.
That's the thing. Like when they were having their agreement on the beach, like saying like we will do our duty, I thought that also meant we're gonna make sure that we have to have children together because they need to look like us. So I thought that
too.
I thought
Well,
that
I thought it was like this is not for fun, this is for business, and then move on.
Those first 5 episodes did a great job of setting up Rhaenyra's like inner like just bang whoever she wantedness.
Now I feel like they probably have never even had sex. Like ever. I thought that they
he's
I
having
feel
sex
like
with guys, but he has nothing to show that he did it. That's the whole point, right? Like women are trapped in the castle and the men can do whatever and no one has to know. It could be with a man, a woman, whatever. Like it's the difference of the sexes is being very plainly shown to us, even though she's the one in power.
I think it's like it's interesting that one thing that carried over from the character is like the ability to like lie so hard and like be like wanting everyone to believe the lie and stuff, like telling her own husband like these are our kids, you know. I thought that was like interesting.
He knows.
He freaking knows.
Oh yeah, I mean, I feel like they made it very obvious that like everyone in the castle knows the truth, but like no one's saying anything about it.
Yeah, because if the king admits that she's having sex with her Kingsguard or whatever, like he's killing his daughter. He can't do anything about it. And the person who said it, I can't wait to talk about that person next.
Viserys and Rhaenyra are both like the only ones in denial, and that's like the nice little reminder that, you know, father and daughter, like they're in it together.
In denial, or they're just choosing to not acknowledge. I guess that's the same thing.
I don't know.
Yeah,
Viserys is really good at doing nothing. There was some shenanigans happening at the table of the round table or whatever, and Viserys once again was just, oh no, what's happening?
He's being very agreeable too. Like when Rhaenyra was proposing the betrothal, he's like, "That sounds like a great idea."
I like it. Oh, you're so nice. Everyone get along. Come on, guys.
Yeah, I feel like this is the episode where he smiled the most, which is funny because he looks so like he looks like a corpse already, but he was just smiling the whole time, like, sweet, oh, another baby. Oh yeah, for sure, get married. Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah, and then he's like, "Don't accuse my daughter of that. She's not doing nothing wrong."
Yeah, he was more in denial this episode than ever, and it really made him happy. That was good to see.
Ignorance is bliss.
He's over the politics. He has chosen his heir. He doesn't want any problems to get in the middle of that. And I feel like I'm curious to see though, how will he go? Will he die from natural causes, or will Alicent finally like secretly
put a pillow over his face or something?
I'm sorry, what? You think she doesn't have that seed of evil in her?
I don't know.
She's trying to protect her child.
Pushed to the edge because she's so frustrated in this episode age that like no one is doing anything about this.
No. She's gonna call the big guns, which is her dad. She's gonna get Otto back.
Yeah, it seems like that's where she's going.
Yeah, he is so much a blind king. He is choosing to be blind because he knows the truth too, but he's choosing not to do anything about it.
I think so too.
He's going towards his end, so all he can be is happy to go.
Yeah, that's the way we should all kind of go out. Just like,
like ignore the problems, just
enjoy it. Enjoy those last days.
A dragon's egg is such a nice gift.
Yeah, that is another line.
I don't remember that line. Is that what? Oh yeah, like after the proposal.
Yeah, exactly.
He just
damn. He was great. He was great. Alicent
Hightower. We are seeing that she's the only one. Well, not the only one, but she's very frustrated. With not one but 3 illegitimate children. And she feels like she can only express how she really feels to Criston and Larys Strong. How do you guys think about this new actor in this role and her storyline in this?
Again, if I had just seen her, I'd be like, why is this queen such a raging bitch? I don't understand. But she has these tiny, tiny little facial expressions, these micro expressions that are so in line with the young version of her character. I thought she did a great job, but I'm again like there's so much legwork done by those early actors for the characters. Like, wow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I feel like with Alicent, that was a character that didn't really give you much until that final episode with the younger actress. And then when she came out in that green dress, you kind of saw where her trajectory was going. And I think Olivia Cook did a good job of like showing what that character would be like 10 years later, which is still like aggressive, kind of playing the cards against Rhaenyra and all that stuff, and doing what she can as like queen regent or whatever. Like, you know, she's got power, but it's quite limited. And yeah, I mean, she's got some interesting kids, and she thinks they're
her
perfect
kids
little
suck.
angels.
Those little assholes.
For some reason, I thought that Aegon would be a little bit more pompous when it comes to like his personality or his feelings towards about being heir, but it seems like he's not really into that whole political world yet and about his inheritance.
Mm-hmm.
And I found it interesting that his mom is the one that's like pushing this idea on him in his mind. You know, everyone knows it that you're gonna be king, and you need to take it seriously. So I thought that was like,
yeah. He's not quite like Joffrey or anything, but he's like just like a shitty little teenager, typical shitty teenager. I think that's interesting. I like the actor. Hate Alicent. She's a total bitch and don't feel sorry for her. All right, well, that's definitely one opinion. I want to talk a little bit about her other kid, Aemond, who I feel like is vastly more interesting than Aegon.
I make a thing for him. I made a banner.
It's okay. Yeah, exactly. The kids. So I feel like the kids in general are like really important in this episode, and Aemond is really interesting.
Is that pig boy?
I want to hear. I'll do like a little intro. Aemond, we see, is the only one who doesn't have a dragon, and we learned from Lena that it could take years until you can bond with your dragon. And he was a little bit bullied. They gave him like his cousins and his brother gave him a pig as his dragon. And then we see him go down to the dragon pit. I swear I thought he was going to be burned, and that's how he got the eye patch. Because
I was hoping for that.
Yeah.
I wanted the kid to get eaten. I wanted him to turn into a wishbone snack.
Yeah, because he grows up and he has to wear an eye patch as an adult.
Is that him or is it the other one?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Aemond.
It seems like something that would happen to Aemond.
Yeah.
But now not the big weak one,
huh?
I don't know. I don't know who gets an eye patch. I didn't read the names on anything, but if I had to guess, I'd say it's the older, flimsy one.
Well, you know what? That'll be a surprise. It's a spoiler. I didn't even know anybody was going to have a damn eye patch.
The eye patch on.
The internet finds, and then it's like it comes up in my Explore page. I wasn't looking for it, but I want to hear why you think he's interesting.
Why do I think he's interesting? Well, number one, look, as somebody who has been trying to stay away from all the book stuff, I didn't know even how many kids there were going to be. So up through the first 5 episodes, I was just focused on Aegon, right? Because it seemed like this was the conflict. Yeah. Like he was the firstborn son. So I didn't even expect there to be a second boy.
Yeah.
And the fact that they're setting up like, you know, he's like this underdog, like he's been kind of treated like crap by the other kids, and he's got like this, he doesn't have a dragon, but he seems to kind of have like a really interesting connection with dragons and like a lot of passion and stuff. Like, I don't know, I didn't expect to see a second son that actually had like me questioning, like wanting to learn more about him than I do Aegon. Aegon just seems pretty straightforward.
Yeah, and so far it looks like Aemon is the one that will have a bit more conflict.
I think so. I mean, I don't know where it's going to go eventually. Like if perhaps Aegon is going to like pass away, and then the Aemond is going to be like the top born son, or if maybe Aemon is going to be like we like how we know there's always the king, and then there's like somebody calling the shots really behind the back in a lot of situations. So maybe Aemon is like that person, like the hand of the king, or somebody that's like really driving force behind that family.
It could be.
I do like that.
When one brother fights another, or cousin versus cousin. I mean, I think where this is going, because we know it's a civil war amongst the Targaryens. We just don't know like who's gonna die,
how it's gonna happen. Yeah.
That's what I like about his character, though. He has incredible depth of possible like anger and resentment, or like a will to like overcome his family's nonsense. Like he could turn out to be a hero or a villain, like in both ways, because he has that conflict where it's like, I don't have a dragon, I'm gonna go into the cave.
Yeah, well, that's another thing I guess that's interesting about him is the possibilities, like you mentioned, because they are like his mother is like force feeding it to him that it's mostly the Rhaenyra's kids that are messing with him, but you see firsthand that it's also his older brother. So like you don't know where the hell he's going to end up actually.
He could just be a really pissed off kid.
He could turn his back on his own family, I guess. Like hypothetically, I don't know. I that's a character I liked this episode. That little boy.
They set him up as somebody who definitely has something to prove because he is an underdog. So I think he will be very interesting to watch as well. I'm excited to see him with the eye patch and how he gets it.
Is it really him and not the other one?
It is, yes.
Oh.
It is. Yeah.
Poor Aemon.
I don't know.
Somebody said it in the comments, but then I told him not to spoil anymore. Thank you guys. So let's talk about who you're dying to talk about. Don't worry, we're gonna get there right now, Age. We're gonna get there. Let me find the banner. Talk amongst yourselves. Is he here?
I don't know who you're dying to talk about. I'm kind of curious.
My boy Loris?
Is it Loris or Warren?
Larys Strong, brother of Harwin Strong and the Hand of the King.
Okay, I want to hear. Oh, Harwin or Larys?
Wait, Larys. Okay.
Let's
Sir Lionel?
I want to talk about Larys.
Hey, Larys Strong. Larys Strong is super shady, and he has dinners with the queen. They're like BFFs, kind of. Like, what the hell is going on? Go ahead.
He showed up for the first time like an episode ago, and it was like, who is this shady, weird little Rasputin over here? My God. Okay, he killed, out of like just cause, he killed his brother and his father just for... What? And now those kids have no father? I
don't. Okay, so this is what I said during my recap. I don't understand what we gained from killing them because they were already being sent back home. Like they weren't in the way anymore.
That's the thing. I don't get it. I don't get it. He's just bad.
I agree with you, Melissa. I mean, other than the fact that from the plot perspective, Alicent is going to feel like indebted to him now, and like they're kind of. I mean, she could just be like, "This was something crazy that I never asked for," and like try to have him sentenced to death or something. But it seems like they're going to be like kind of in it together. Like she feels like guilty, so she's going to be kind of beholden to him in a bit of a way. But I think you brought up a great point that he was just introduced an episode ago. Now he did this thing that doesn't fully like make sense. I don't think the writing has done this character justice, to be honest. I feel like he feels like somebody mentioned Littlefinger 2.0. I feel like he's a bad like batch of like Littlefinger. I don't think he lives up to that character at all, but he seems like an offshoot that just isn't really working for me at this point. Maybe in the future episodes they can give him a little more background that makes him make a little more sense of where he's coming from. Obviously he's power hungry, he's a schemer, he's got like the limp and stuff that you probably can assume that like he's resentful to a lot of people in his life. So I guess, you know, not super surprised that he would kill his family because he's a mean little schemer with a lot probably to be angry about. But that whole thing, it reminded me of like the priest, when the priest started a cult with like that ended up being like an army when he took like the prisoners and stuff. Like
Season 5.
Larys, yeah, exactly. So Larys taking the prisoners kind of gave me that vibe, and it reminded me of like the days that Game of Thrones was like going downhill and stuff. So.
Yeah, and for those who don't remember, what you're talking about is the Sparrow or whatever, and he was the leader of a church that apparently was in the show for 5 seasons, but we never saw it. And all of a sudden in season 5, it was like, yeah, the church is the thing.
And they got so big and his like army and stuff. And when Larys was building his little army of like tongueless people, I was like, oh, this gives me those vibes. And like, they just haven't done enough with this character up to this point to like make me interested in what's going on. And yet it's playing such a big role. So it seems a little mismanaged for sure.
Yeah. And again, that's the concept thing that we're saying every week. There's just like not enough background and not enough context, which made me think if I had to grade this show overall, I think it's like between C+ and B- so far.
I give it a solid like B.
We got letters now?
No letters. I was just thinking like overall show. We'll stick with our dragons.
Look, we like to criticize and stuff, and there's definitely some holes, and we're skeptical because of the way Game of Thrones ended, but overall, like, I think there's the potential for this show to be like really, really great. And the fact that they have the story laid out already, and hopefully they're like planning it to kind of flow in a way that makes sense, unlike the last few seasons of Game of Thrones. It has the potential to be like a better front to back series than Game of Thrones, I think. So
we have 4 more episodes left though.
4 episodes left in the season. That's a lot, especially like you don't even know how long the episodes are going to be.
There could be 20 years of episodes in there.
No, but I just feel like 6 is a lot of time to like make this better than it is.
I think if you looked back at like the first 6 episodes of Game of Thrones season 1, you'd have like some classic moments in there, but then what is it, episode 8 or 9, Ned gets his head cut off and you're like, this is the greatest show of all time. So there's plenty of time for it to get there. Like it takes 1 episode really where like things are set up and then like something happens that you didn't expect or just it's like so great. So I'm being patient.
Okay, I guess I'm being impatient because I keep waiting for that. I keep waiting for that moment. Like I'm staring at the TV, like something happened. Come on.
I mean, 2 back-to-back great episodes. It can like take you from like a C to an A+ probably.
Okay, we'll
2 great back-to-back episodes.
We'll see if my overall grade changes by episode 10.
I think it will.
This has been okay. I mean, there's no more crab feeder nonsense. I do miss the crabs.
But we have heard about stepstones again. They're fucking obsessed with the stepstones.
Exactly.
But are the crabs? Is it going to be the rats? Like, why do we only have animal teams?
I don't know.
Team rat.
We're putting money on that bet about the grading, Chris Dang. Okay, we'll put money on it. I'll cash out me $2. If I win.
Isn't there like a super like or something?
Is the king dead yet? No, he's alive.
He will not die.
I don't know why he's not dead, but he's not.
I don't know either. I think he may live throughout this whole thing. We don't know.
Yeah, guys, when he dies, something interesting is going to happen. Something interesting is going to happen.
Something has to happen at some point in the show.
So we see Harwin strong. They didn't like really set this up besides like a couple of like looks that he would give Rhaenyra as a child in the past episodes.
They don't need to set anything up. He just needs to be good looking. That's it.
I know.
That guy.
I know.
Yeah,
I know.
He just stepped into the vacuum that Criston Cole left behind.
Wait, Criston was such a nice guys. Like, you won't date me. I have gold in the carriage.
He's got that.
And he called her a C word.
He got that incel stuff.
He's the most realistic character in the show.
He's like he reminded me of just like a typical like ex, like that hates their ex and stuff.
So real.
He was
just like, yeah, because she's stupid, you know? She's so stupid. She's probably like just having sex with Harwin. Stupid.
The other brown-haired dude. But like, again, why can't she just try? Or like, can't they collect his seed in a jar or something?
That is something I wish they would show us the conversation about, like, have they tried to have children together and then he couldn't, or she, or like, why?
Well, like, there's
no
science.
self-prepared child. Like, you had to have known that would have been a huge risk. Like, how?
Dude, it's classic Rhaenyra though. Like, she's got that Daemon in her that just thinks she could get away with anything.
100% the vibe of the incel vibe. Yes, I know Dragons Forever. But yeah, so Harwin's strong. I mean, I like the cute moments. Like right when he's like in her chambers, like waiting for her, it seems, and like waiting with the kids and making the eyes of the kids, like, oh, he's the daddy. He is the daddy.
I was starting to like him too. There's two characters I was starting to like a little bit in this episode that just died right at the end.
I'm sad that we lost him so early because I really liked him too. I thought he would have like a more interesting arc besides being the baby daddy. But
yeah, I like the way he was like treating his kids. I like when he kicked Criston Cole's ass, even though it kind of set everything into motion and whatever.
But Criston did do that on purpose. Where is he? Because
Criston took such an interesting turn.
Criston did that on purpose so that he could bait him, and
it was such a dude thing. Like, seriously, you have Rhaenyra and Alicent like totally knowing, like, you know, one knows the secret, keeps it for 10 years. Meanwhile, you have Criston over here like, you had sex with the queen.
Well, we knew he was trash last episode when he told the queen straight up, it was me, I banged her.
And can we also talk about the Hand of the King too? Because the difference between Otto and Mr. Strong, Lionel Strong?
Lionel Strong.
Mm-hmm. The difference, it's so true. Like, Alicent is literally sitting there when, like, he's like, you're the best Hand of the King I ever had. And Alicent's like, oh, this is a personal attack to my papa. And then it's true. Her dad did tell the king the thing. Like, it's so infuriating watching two people go through the same thing. And this guy did not have the balls to say the thing about Sir Harwin having sex with his daughter. Like, Otto supremacy. Otto is my number one character now. He is the Stannis of the show. I hope that he lives a long life.
He's coming back. I'm excited to see what happens when he comes back. That was an interesting scene for sure.
That's another question that I have, because he has other people on his small council. So if his hand died, why does he need to bring back Otto and just doesn't make somebody else his hand in his small council?
Well, no, Alicent's going to bring him. But you're right. He could pick whoever he wants to. But she's going to just be like, but you used to do it. So, you already know the paperwork. Yeah, like, you already know, like, how to punch in your time. So,
yeah, we'll see how it works out. Yeah, I like that scene where he wouldn't say it, and you're right. I liked Alicent in the background kind of watching. I almost didn't catch that part where it was kind of like a slight to her dad. I was paying attention more to how, like, she was hoping like this would break open the floodgates of like, just admit it and then we'll do the next steps.
And then my son will be the new heir.
Yeah. I liked that part of it, but that's a good catch that, she was thinking of her dad.
I didn't catch that slight at her dad.
He said something about, it doesn't matter. Oh, you have no self-interest.
I do remember that, which is interesting, because I remember like 2 episodes ago he told Rhaenyra, I mean, anybody on my small council is going to have self-interest, so he's changed his mind about that.
Viserys sucks. Okay, he's wishy-washy. Like, how many episodes did he ban Daemon? How many actual episodes did he ban him? And then he walked back into court and he's like, brother!
At least twice that I can remember.
Everybody in court saw that happen, and I think that, I don't know if they walk all over the king, because we haven't really, like, there's fucking 10 years between episodes. Like, what the hell?
I love your hair.
Oh, thanks, Dragons Forever. It's from Amazon.
Yeah. But I mean, I agree. He is the king of doing nothing.
Yeah.
Too much.
But respect, though. He's been great. He's been great.
You know what it was where he did nothing? It was literally Sir Criston and the other guy were fighting, and Sir Viserys like didn't even say anything. He's like, "Oh, they're fighting." Nothing.
Yeah, his reign has set up like this whole show and this whole drama, and I don't know. He's just been dying for so long, but he won't die. I mean,
I know you're a Viserys fan. I know that.
Yeah, and I acknowledge like the crappiness of him as a king, but I think that's what makes him like super important to the show and a good character is that he is a crappy king in like ways that are pretty real, you know?
He is a good character because of it. Like, I don't want a perfect character, but I don't know. I just wish he did something.
It's
like,
very like he is the Bobby B of this show, like 100%.
Yeah.
And except for you get to spend way more time with him.
He's like a mascot in his own show.
No.
You know, all those times Daenerys was like, I am the blood of the dragon. Like, this is literally her legacy. All these assholes.
I like Dragons Forever. You know nothing, King Viserys. Good. That fits.
He doesn't. Okay, I think we talked about everyone. Is everyone ready to let us know their MVP of the episode? Let me know in the comments.
Wait, what about the little boy who got beat up? Poor baby.
Who got beat up?
The poor baby.
He was one of the Targaryen kids, though.
He's the no. He's the only Targaryen because only the firstborn gets the title Targaryen, and all the other ones are Velaryons. Actually, I thought that was interesting. She's like, "It's okay, you're a Targaryen," and I'm like, "But the other one isn't." But whatever.
Who got beat up? I forgot.
Rhaenyra's oldest son.
Jace.
Oh, you mean when Aegon was like fighting with him?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh,
we didn't see too much of him, but that was the one scene.
I just thought that was really cool and messed up. It reminded me of like season 1 of Game of Thrones when the kids used to practice in the field. It was just like seeing family memories of a good time.
But this was different because like that was like family like teaching each other how to fight, like to protect Winterfell together. This was like they might be battling for like something real one day.
Oh yeah, I mean, Criston is clearly like teaching the 2 other kids different from the 2 other kids. Like he's like, he's not even pretending at this point. Like
Criston took such an interesting turn. Honestly, I did not see it coming out. He's like just got so much rage now. I just want to
kill him.
Whereas he was so soft and like buttery when you first met him. You know,
he's gentle. He was like a white knight. Now he's kind of like a dark knight.
He's literally an incel.
He got hurt in a lot of ways. Somebody like he felt like I think he felt like she ruined his life by like making him unpure to like the throne, and then she rejected him on top of it. So he's got like all this resentment.
Yeah, but
you're right. But it wasn't her.
He feels that way.
Yeah, it's just his perspective. That's where the character's coming from. But it really like took a toll. Like I didn't see him becoming such a little prick. But it's cool.
Do we think that Alicent is like being nice about the kids, or like when she says they don't look like their dad? Is she trying to help Rhaenyra in the long run? Is she trying to tell her the same thing that I'm telling her, or do we think she's being a bitch?
No way. She wants Rhaenyra and those kids out of the way hard. That's it.
Damn.
I think.
We see here in this episode, she wants her son to be the heir.
I know, but why does she keep saying they don't look like you? They don't look like you. Why does she keep doing that?
Because in essence, Rhaenyra doesn't have any true heirs, so therefore she shouldn't be the heir to the Iron Throne.
Right, but like at that point, shouldn't Alicent keep her mouth shut and let her continue to do it and then strengthen her case? I don't know.
No, because she wants it all done now. Remember, Alicent and Otto, they're like by the book rule people. Like as soon as something's gone wrong, they want it taken care of. They want the integrity of the realm. They want all of those things. So I think it's frustrating her to see like what a freaking clown show it all is, and she probably hasn't liked Rhaenyra for a long time, regardless.
Dragons Forever has no love for Queen Alicent.
That's right. She doesn't like Queen Alicent.
That was a really rough move of her to tell this girl to come to the room right after giving birth. That was terrible.
That was nasty. That was not good.
Yeah.
And then, thank you for reminding me, Melissa. The part where Rhaenyra stood up and tried to say something important in front of the room, and then her milk came in, and she had to like cover herself, ashamed. Like, have we not all been the single like woman in the room saying something until something weird happens to you, and you're like, I don't know. I felt terrible for her. I felt so bad for her. That sucked. It was like, the sex thing.
I will say
have it good in Westeros.
I like the way the show kind of like honors like pregnancy and motherhood a lot, and the constant comparison to like battle. Like when she's walking the baby up the steps, her husband is like, I took a thing through the shoulder once, and she's just like, who cares? And he like knows it. So I think that's cool. I think that's cool. Like, it's an interesting contrast from like some of the female characters in Game of Thrones that we liked because they were like involved in battles or like trying to be queen, like Brienne of Tar and like Arya and stuff. Like in this show, they're tough because they're like giving birth and like being moms and stuff. And I like that. I respect it.
I like that point. That's a good point, and it is something that I think they do well. But did the Hand of the King become bald? Was he not bald?
He got older. Yeah.
He thinned out the hair. He's stressed. He tried to quit, and his king wouldn't let him. So then his son killed him.
What the hell? I
don't know. I don't understand that move. I don't get it. People in the future who watch this video, if you have your theories on why Larys Strong killed his family, let us know your theories. Also, let us know your explanation of Dragonfire working sometimes and then sometimes not. And Adriana is texting us. What are you texting us?
Why are you telling people I'm texting you guys while we're...
Because you're distracting me. How are you on this show talking and then also texting us? I will read this after. I'm a professional. Okay, we're going to go to there.
Are you?
Yes.
MVP
of the episode. So Chris, Dang, and Dragons Forever, let us know as I'm thinking about mine. I feel like Age, you must have one, right?
I just really enjoyed watching the dragon burn the lady. I thought it was a stupid scene, but the fact that they did it at all gave me a little hope that maybe more characters will die. I was just mad that she died after only having about 10 lines of dialogue in the entire series.
You know what? That's a good point. Somehow it's escaped me that Game of Thrones is like a show that is known for killing off characters, and we got a lot of characters killed off today. And I mentioned I was really liking both of them.
But you almost forgot because we haven't spent enough time with them. Yeah,
that's a good point as well. But wait, is your MVP the lady or the dragon?
Yeah,
the fire.
The fire itself.
It was the fire itself that both burned a woman, but also did not burn her. It chose. It had. I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay, your MVP was that scene in general.
Just
I guess,
the fire,
which you started off this episode talking about not liking, but
I'm like, this show really has me like, what episode I'm like, yeah, I love Game of Thrones, and then the next it's like, I don't know, guys, they were on dragons holding hands out to each other like, I can show you the world, like magic fucking carpet ride. Like, stop it, Daemon, stop.
Okay, my MVP of the episode is all of the Targaryen kids. Those
even
scenes with
even
the brown-haired ones because the brown-haired ones were kind of drove the plot, right? They're like, these are bastards, something's got to be done, so they're MVPs for that. And then the freaking blonde ones, especially Aemond, I don't know, Aemond could legit be my MVP, but he had such a little part. But all of the kids together, I'd say, were like a really fun kind of thing to track throughout the episode.
I like that Aemon's just a typical teenager. He's so normal.
Aegon, you mean?
Yeah. The oldest, I don't know.
The oldest one, yeah. He's a teen. He's a teen.
Yeah, that was a good one. Who's my MVP?
This is a tough episode, probably. This big one.
It is hard. I mean, I don't know. I guess I'll say Rhaenyra because I liked her scene where she was trying to make amends with the queen by saying, I apologize. I know that we've been beefing. Let's put it behind us. I feel like she was playing the game there and coming up with the proposal between the children. I liked seeing that move. And then I liked seeing her move her family to protect them going to Dragonstone. I feel like, she's making decisions as a future queen would and also as a mother would, trying to protect her kids. So I liked her scenes in this episode for sure.
Let me throw out there, biggest improvement in like the age jump for actors is what's his name? Rhaenyra's husband.
Laenor.
Yeah, no. I like this actor a lot better than the young one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, he doesn't look like him, but I do like him in the role better. But they just don't look the same. That's my problem.
Yeah.
I liked him too, and I like that they have it's like a friendship marriage. They were like friends, even though she's frustrated with him.
Yeah, he was so great with her in that first scene. I love that. Yeah,
because they're also cousins.
I think that won me over right away.
I liked it. And then, are there any predictions?
it's getting tougher every week.
It
I
is.
still say that Rhaenyra is going to be queen at some point when Viserys dies. That'll
Okay.
be like the first thing to happen. I think that kind of has to happen a little bit, or else there's no conflict. That would mean they probably like kill her or do something before. Well, I guess it could go either way now that I'm thinking about it more, but I'll try to throw a prediction out there. I don't really have another one besides that. So
Otto's coming back.
Well, we see that.
Ooh, too easy.
We see that. That's not a
It's
prediction.
11 o'clock. I got work tomorrow.
That's not a prediction. I'm playing like, when is Viserys gonna die? I'm gonna say he dies in episode 8.
Wait, can we bet money on this?
I only bet with my life and never my money.
Can we just bet episode numbers? Can we like claim an episode? There's 4 episodes left.
8. I said, oh, wait, there's 4. Wait, it's 10.
Wait,
6.
what was this one?
Okay. This was 6. I'm saying episode 8. He bites it.
I'm saying 7.
Okay, and Andres?
I feel like 8 is a really good choice, honestly, because that leaves 2 episodes for things to get crazy. I mean, it could be 9. Like that could be like the I don't know, but it's not like Ned Stark because everyone's been expecting him to die for so long. It's almost like the reverse Ned Stark.
Ned died in the second to last, right?
Yes, he dies in episode 9.
No.
Yeah, probably.
I'm just gonna
say
10 is. I think 10 is too late.
Yeah.
But
cool. All right, we did it, kids. Cool. This was fun as always. Thank you for joining us for our live after show for The Princess and the Queen, House of the Dragon, Game of Thrones. So much fun. We'll be back next week for episode 7. And let us know in the comments when you think Viserys is gonna die. What do you think about all the plot holes of the Strong family and the Hightower family and the Targaryen and the Velaryons and the bastard children? What's going to happen? Cool. Send a raven. Share this. Subscribe. I didn't do this in the beginning. Subscribe. Like the video. Share this with your friends who love Game of Thrones. And we'll see you guys next week. Thanks for checking us out. Bye-bye. Sing the song.